What's happening, folks? Gerald here, aka J490, coming at you with another reaction. Diana Ross and the Supremes reaction. Remember, it's the Supremes with Diana in the group when Florence is also in the group. It's Diana Ross and the Supremes when Florence is out of the group and Cindy Birdsong is in it. And then it becomes the Supremes again when Diana leaves the group in 1970, and it's on until 77. They changed members, but they remain the Supremes the whole time. This is one of the last TV appearances of Diana Ross and the Supremes. It's their performance at the Hollywood Palace. This is a 2-for-1, and I'm very excited about it because in this 2-for-1, I've seen one of the two. They perform. They start with "Someday We'll Be Together." Love that song very, very much. Love that the instrumentation so much. They start with that, and then, to my surprise, they go into "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You," led by Mary Wilson. Now, I've heard the audio version of this has been released in box sets because they recorded this and Mary sings lead on it. But what's really cool about it at this time of Diana Ross and the Supremes, it was really all about Diana Ross, and it was that way because it really was about getting her position to be the solo star that she became. And so I think it's really cool that in this era, in this time, they still gave Mary a chance to shine. And it could have been more. It should have been. I wish Cindy got to shine too. But anyway, very excited for this. I'm gonna try and have this release align with March 6th, which would have been Mary Wilson's birthday. Shout out to Mary Wilson. Do you know when she moved to Detroit, she moved to, I believe it's her uncle and aunt's house on a street called Bassett, and that is the street that my granddad's house is on, that my mom grew up in, and that I grew up in because when my parents divorced, my mom moved back in there, and I lived there until I was around 6. And update kind of I'm moving back to Detroit and back to that house on Bassett, and I met Mary Wilson in 2012 at the Sparkle premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood, and I got to tell, like, hey, I grew up on Bassett too, and that was cool. I love that I got to meet her. She's the only Supremes I ever met. So, and she's the senior Supreme. So salute to Mary, happy birthday, and excited to check out this performance. Before I get to it though, I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Now, without any further ado, this is the Supremes live at the Hollywood Palace performing "Someday We'll Be Together" and "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You."
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Wilson.
Come on, Mary. Come on, Mary. So, if you couldn't tell, that Someday We'll Be Together performance was lip synced. And by the ooze already, I could tell this is live. I could tell this is live here.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. And I wanna hold you so much. At long last, love has arrived. And I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. Oh, and there are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Get it, Cindy. Beautiful. I love that, and I always said that that could have been a single. I don't know why that couldn't have been a hit, but oh my god, that was awesome to see Mary in action like that. You know, still to this day, my favorite Supremes reaction I've done is still the Supremes doing 8 days a week when it was Diana, Florence, and Mary, and they all got their solo moments. Like I said, we've discussed many times in the comments. I feel like I'm end up repeating it every Supremes video. They really had what it takes. Though I don't know Cindy's voice as sure, so it's like I speaking more so on the Diana, Florence, and Mary arrangement. They really could have shared leads. They really could have, but that wasn't the group's call. That was the boss's calls. That before they were with Motown, they shared leads, and yeah, they had it. They all had it. They all had it. And like I said, I don't know Cindy's voice as well as I know. In fact, because I say the Supremes fan I am, I'm less familiar with the group after Cindy and Jean Terrell left. But before then, it's five voices that or five Supremes I know best, and that's Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, Florence Ballard, Jean Terrell, and then Cindy. And with Cindy, is just I don't think she's had an entire song that she led as a Supremes, and that's why it's like I don't really know. With Florence, then yeah, it's a number of Florence songs from the early days especially, and then Mary too. Mary, she doesn't have she got more solo moments after Diana left, and things like this where it be the whole song and stuff, or shared leads for some. But yeah, they very talented group, and they don't get enough shine and praise as a group. They get very lumped into just Diana Ross, and it's easy to do that. It's very easy to do that. So I don't fault anyone. How dare you? It's very easy. You have to really know your stuff. And even then, like I say, I pat myself, but I know my stuff. I know my stuff mostly about the time of Diana in the group and the early days of Jean in the group. Everything after say 71, not so much. That's, there's going to be a lot more of that coming soon. And hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. I hope you do. And again, happy birthday to Mary Wilson, or what would have been a birthday. We lost her in 2021. And what I loved for her too is in the recent years she and Diana made up really well, and that they made up really well. And Mary, I really liked how interactive she was about the Supremes community online and YouTube, and she uploaded videos on her channel and little vlogs and little info things, and was doing the tour of the gowns. And as the group, there was no stronger cheerleader for that group, and rightfully so. She earned the right to be than Mary Wilson, because like I said, that Mary's thing is she stayed in the group from the time of them being the Primettes to the very last Supreme performance. She is the only person that can say that. And but what's interesting, why I was a little let down that they lip synced Someday We'll Be Together, even though, like I said, I say I don't really put that much stock or put that much care or importance on live versus lip sync. But with that one, it's the thing, because this might be news, but for some of you who don't know the Supremes or Diana Ross, any of the lineups as well, for that song, that's not any member of the Supremes you hear in the background. That was the Motown house girl group who provided background vocals for a lot of singers and albums in general. Cindy Birdsong and Mary Wilson were not. They had nothing to do with the recording of that song or Love Child. And there's a number of songs on the albums that they came with in those Diana Ross and the Supremes days that were really, a lot of them were really kind of ideas and things that it's like, okay, this could be, like this song in particular, Someday We'll Be Together, was considered for being Diana Ross's first solo single. That is why Mary and Cindy aren't on it. But somewhere in its creation, or somewhere in its release, this will be a great hit for the group. Let's not have the girls come back in here and record on it. So it's one. So I did Love Child. I did a Love Child performance on, I think it was Ed Sullivan or somewhere, and it was live. And someone said, like, no, they shouldn't do this one because they're not singing on it. No, they were singing on that live performance. They're not singing on the album version, aka this version of Someday We'll Be Together. We heard that wasn't Cindy or Mary you heard in the background there. But anyway, so that's a little info there. So anyway, hope you all enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please go ahead and like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. In the description below, you'll find all of my social medias, all available to follow me on. If you would like to tip and sponsor me, if you would like to tip or just donate, or better yet, check out my Patreon. That is all in the description below. And then just lastly, thank you all so much for even taking the time to push play on this video today. That means so much to me, and it goes a very long way. And beyond everything else, you all, please take care of yourselves and each other.